In this episode, I want to give you an update of my current state of my VAX VMS cluster. Hello, yes, welcome back to another episode, and in this episode I want to give you some updates of the status of my VAX cluster, because I moved to that new place and my cluster moved with me, and I want to make regularly some videos about the current state of the cluster hardware and what I'm planning. So I think there will be some more videos in the future. I don't know, every 2 or 3 months about the current state. And information for my German viewers: as I saw at the beginning, the German content moved to another channel because there is an issue with the YouTube algorithm, because it's quite confused when I upload 2 videos in 2 different languages, and therefore I moved the German content to another channel. So the German viewers, you will find the link to my German video in the video description, like all my other videos before. But now the channel is a different one, and that's the only difference. But if you want to have all updates of all my content, you need to subscribe both of my channels, the German channel and the English one. And as you can see behind me, here are my 2 VAX systems. You already know, only see the top of them. And here on the left are 2 rack cabinets. And I will flip the camera now and show you what's inside the rack cabinets and what I've made with the clusters and all that stuff, and what I've done the last time and what I'm planning in the future. As you can see here, the VAX are on the left beside the racks, and on the right there are 2 rack cabinets. One is written digital here, one is written compact, but this is a spare part, so there's an ordering number for these plastic panels, so maybe I will get one from digital for that rack cabinet as well. On the bottom in the rack cabinet is written digital as well, so I think it was around 1998 released. That's the reason why there are different plastic pieces. There on top there is my Alpha Server DS10, and the Debian Linux project asked me if I can gain them access to that machine. I hope I will hope that's possible, and in 2 weeks or so. So the reason behind that machine is a computer for the access to that machine via Serial Console, but I have to install Debian Linux on that machine before, and then then the access will be possible. On the right there is my DEC Server 200, and on top there is my printer. It's an LA 324 dot matrix printer, but this printer needs some restoration. It's only stored on the top of that shelf. What's inside? The left one is a storage shelf. On the bottom you see my enterprise storage array for the alpha laters. It does not support tape drives. This is just because I stored it there. And as you know from my StorageWorks videos, one of the controller didn't work anymore, but I was able to fix the controller. But I will make a separate video about that controller, so therefore I will tell you more about the controller and how I repaired it. And here on top there is my HSD30 DSSI controller, and I'm planning when I have dedicated cables for that controller, there will be some StorageWorks shelves on the top, but at the moment it's empty, but there's space for more storage, and there will be more storage. So the left one is only the storage cabinet, and the right one there is on top is my network. So here's for power, so can I turn off and on things in a different way. Here is this is my router, which connects different networks, and I have to think about the cabinets and what I will store where in that rack. So interestingly, the YouTuber Clap Retro, I will link his video down below, does the same thing as at the same time. It's quite interesting. because you have to think where you put the switch, what's the power distribution, and where will be what in the cabinet. Yeah, and down the Cisco router, I need a Cisco router because I need gigabit, and I do not found a gigabit router, IP router from DEC, and the Cisco router can also handle DECnet, and this is important because I have several different networks connected here. Later on will be 2 more networks, because here down the Cisco router is a DEC hub 900 or multi-switch 900 backplane, but this is just a temporary network. I've put only some DEC hub 90 modules in it just to have a network at the moment, and I can run the cluster and all that stuff. But after the video about these multi-switch 900, I will put bigger multi-switch 900 modules in on the backplane. But at the moment, this is a configuration that works temporarily for me. And down there are the alpha servers and the Itanium, but they are not connected. So the mounting kit is missing. I do not have some mounting kit for the servers at the moment. They are just stored here, and after I have a mounting kit and other stuff I need, because I do not have all parts I need at the moment, I will put the 2 alpha servers in that rack here down below, and I think the Itanium will be stored somewhere else, because I will put another storage work shelf on top for the tape drives for the alpha server here, and then there's not enough space for the Itanium. Yeah, that's are the racks. And this is what I called the user area. It's the same room, just the other side of the room, and on that user area I can use the hardware or make inputs to the hardware and get outputs from the hardware connected to the cluster. Here on the left there is a VT420 terminal, green on black, really nice, like this green on black terminal. I still need an amber one, but green on black is also quite nice. Then there is a VAX station 4000 VLC. Unfortunately, without the original monitor, I only have this TFT display at the moment. Maybe I will get one soon, but I don't know. Who knows what the future brings. And on the right, there is a VT520, white on black. I had some issues with the keyboard, but this is solved, and still there's a problem when I want to enter the add symbol, then the terminal hangs up, and then I have to restart the whole terminal. And on the right there is my electronics workbench at the moment. I hope I can move that part to another place soon, to another place in that building here, because it takes a lot of space. The whole desk is 4 meters long, and I only have 2.5 or about maybe 3 meters, but still less for the input. And then I can put a third terminal there. At the moment, I can only have 2 terminals on the desk. There's no more space. Yeah, and then there was a user comment, because I posted a picture of that desk a few days ago, and he said there are some parts missing, so I've added a nice plant and some manuals and a telephone, just to have some decoration on the desk. It makes it a bit nicer, I think. Yeah, and here on the left, there is my DEC hub 90. This is the DEC hub 90 you know from my video, and there is a bridge inside and an agent, but also 2 terminal servers, DEC server 90L Plus and a DEC server 90M, and both terminals are connected to both servers, so I can use both DEC servers from both terminals. Depends on what I want to use. When I want to use pure LAT, then I use the L+, but when I want to use Telnet connection or something like that, then I can use the DEC server 90M. And maybe I will store that DEC hub 90 later in a rack, a wall-mounted rack, because it takes a bit of space from the desk, and when it's in the wall-mounted rack here on the wall on the left, then I have a bit more space on the desks. So what changed on the VAX machines? Both machines are still working, and in my cluster building video I've added a controller to that VAX machine, a KFQSA, because the internal connector there does not work. But I removed the controller. I still use the front panel of it, but it's connected to the CPU board at the moment. So I can use the internal controller, which is called SHAC, which is the same controller like in this VAX, and this controller is capable of machine-to-machine communication. It's faster than the Q-bus controller. The problem of the DSSI bus is located in that cable here. I think that cable is broken somewhere. I found an English seller who said on his website that he had spare parts, and I wrote them a mail, but he said, unfortunately, these parts are quite old, so I wasn't able to get a new one. So I hope there are two possibilities. The first possibility, I found the broken wire inside that cable, because I tried, maybe you saw that video, I've tried it out with some changing the position of the cable, and then you recognize the hard drive in the machine, and then I've tried out to connect both machines together via this cable, and then the hard drives went totally crazy. There was no possibility to boot something, and no machine detected any of the hard drives. So I think there's still one broken, or at least one broken wire in that cable, and that's the reason why I cannot use it at the moment. And then I connected the front panel of the KHF QSA directly to the CPU board, and this is working. At the moment I'm using BNC. I would like to use the AOI connector, but then I needed cables with a 90-degree angle, and I have only one of the cables. But for both machines, I need one for each machine. At the moment, I have only one of these cables, and it's quite hard to get AOI cables on eBay or somewhere else. So that's the reason why I still use these BNC connectors. What's the plan with the cluster? There's still a quorum disk, because it's just two machines in the cluster at the moment, two machines with votes. There are also satellites, but two machines with votes, and there's a big priority to repair the VAX server 3100, because I can use that machine as a third machine with a vote in the cluster, and then I do not need the quorum disk, and then I have a spare slot in the VAX 4300, and I can remove the quorum disk from the machine. There's also an image on that machine, on the VMS drive, from the machine called DBS2. So this machine is called DBS1, this machine is called DBS3, and there was a second 4300 20 years ago, and it's called DBS2. And I've booted that image from the hard drive because DBS1 it was not the DECnet router, and there must be a DECnet router in the cluster, and this was DBS2. I think I will use the VAX 300 as the DECnet router soon, but it's what was quite interesting to boot up the other DBS2 image, and I'm still looking for a second VAX server or VAX 4300 or above, so I can have the machine DBS2 again, but it's hard to get one of those machines at the moment, especially in Europe. You do not find a lot of these machines available. So it's the reason why DBS2 is missing at the moment. Okay, so there's another thing, and I have to turn around to show you the machine, because over here you see a connection with a green cable, and this is a grounding cable. This is the ground, because DSSI machines need a common ground. And DEC provided some cables, this is the original DEC cable. And when you have a look in the manual for the VAX 4300, they said you have to connect the machines with these grounding cables as well. So this ground cable goes through the cabinets. So in general, I have to connect this machine with this machine with the grounding cable. But the VAX 4200 does not have a place where I can connect it. Although there is no place with the purpose like this screw here on the power supply. So I will do a measurement with an ohm meter if it makes a big difference using that cable or not. And then I don't know if I have to use it or not. This will be some kind of interesting experiment. At the moment, DSSI is working perfectly, so there's no issue. But a friend of mine said to me that it's necessary to use that cables. So maybe one of the viewers knows more about it, especially knows more about it, how to connect it to the VAX 4200 or to a MicroVAX 3400, which has the same enclosure. I don't know. So I will measure the resistance of both between these both machines and the resistance with that cable, and then I will plug the cable to both machines. I will connect it to one of these screws, and then I will check if there is a significant difference in the resistance. So let's try it out. I've connected the cable here on one screw, but this is not connected at the moment. The cable itself has a resistance of 10 milliohm, and then let's have a check here on the screws. Hope you can read it on the screen. It's long enough. Here, and there, and then 2.5 milliohms. So this is less than the resistance of the cable, and yeah, I think then the cable will make no difference. Let's try the upper one here. 5.5. I think this is the connection. 4.2. Yeah, this is because the connection maybe is corrosion or something like that here on the screws on the metal. Yeah, it's quite low. Let's put it there. Yeah, gets higher. Quite interesting. yeah. I think I do not need that cable at that machine, and I can think the grounding of the power distribution here in the room is good enough for the DSSI connection. So now is everything removed. Removed the grounding cable again, now my next plan is to make some kind of cable management, because you can see the cables. It's quite a mess with all the cables, and I need some kind of better management. It will look better. And one thing I have to mention is that this room is obviously not a computer room, or was not a computer room. It was just some kind of classroom or something like that, and therefore the power distribution is a bit problematic, because I can use only one power plug in the wall for all my hardware on this side of the room, and the maximum current you can get from one power connector in the wall permanently is 10 amps in Germany, so about 2,300 watts. You can up to 30 minutes you can provide 16 amps, but then after that, because it gets warm, only 10 amps is the maximum, and I have to check. At the moment it all takes about 650 watt, but there's no storage running at the moment, and no alphas running at the moment, and no titanium and all the stuff. So I hope that it will work, and because I have to use power strips in that setup, I have to measure the internal line resistance, and internal line resistance have to be under 2 ohm, so that it all will be running safe. So let's make a measurement, and we can see the internal line resistance is 784 mega ohm at the most distance point in the whole power distribution, and so the maximum, the 80 ampere, the current of 80 ampere is the minimum, and 293 ampere is possible. So everything is okay in that power distribution, so I can use my power distribution at the moment, but after I've changed it, I have to measure it again. And so now let's install the cable management and clean up the cable mess a bit. So you saw I've installed some kind of cable management in the back. See it here. Now it looks much better than before. There's the mess is gone. The terminals are not connected at the moment because later on I will use a terminal server and reverse LAT so that I can the variable console from the VAX machines via a remote terminal, and I do not need a terminal here on the machines. That's the reason why the serial connection is not connected at the moment until I install the terminal server. I will use the terminal, but the terminal server will be inserted in the DEC hub 900. It will be a DEC server 90M, and then I will make a serial connection from the servers to the terminal server, but I still need a cable for that, but it's not a problem to get one of these cables. Yeah, the DSSI cable you can see here, it's quite thick and a bit too long. Also the Ethernet cable is a bit too long, so I have to find a solution. Yeah, when I have DSSI cables for the StorageWorks controller, I need, I think, a second one of these cable management things here on the ground. This cable management is not suitable for more than 2 DSSI cables at the same time, so I can need a second one. And also, maybe I will make it a bit longer, because here is the power plug. Yeah, and yeah, that's my cable management and the end of that cluster update video. I hope you found that cluster update interesting. As I said at the beginning, I will make such update videos every 2 or 3 months to show the progress and what I've done the last month and what I will do the next time. So thanks for watching, and leave comments below, and see you the next time.